Because people go, Serge, how can I pick cherries when there are no cherries? Look, cherry
Oh,
picking
there's
doesn't
always
have to
cherries.
be what you guys think it is. In every city, cherry picking is different. So I'm telling you guys, first of all, there is no question, unequivocally, no question that cherry pickers earn more than ants. There's no question about that, statistically and every which way. And so, and they drive less miles. Their dollars per mile is higher. Their dollars per hour is higher. And this is the article that I wrote for our blog. Please go check it out. www.therideshareguy.com. It's free newsletter. You'll get my articles. I'm writing more and more now because I'm enjoying kind of writing more. And the art of cherry picking, how smart Uber and Lyft drivers maximize earnings in 2025. So, without going into reading the whole thing, if you want to increase your hourly earnings, reduce stress, and avoid getting burned out behind the wheel, you've got to be thinking like a cherry picker. It's not about accepting every ride, it's about accepting the right ride. In this article, I'll break down exactly what cherry picking means. So, what is cherry picking? Cherry picking is the practice of only accepting trips that are worth your time and trouble. So, folks, you're either one or you're not one. I don't think you can. Well, some people say they're a hybrid depending on the market that they're in. If they're offered, ride challenges or quests and they become ants, they take everything, short ones, whatever. Now, but I thought I put everything I know about cherry picking in this article because we have newbies who read, probably the blog and they go like, they should learn, they should know about this, then they can make their own choice. You can do whatever you want to do. But to me, you must not accept every single trip. So why cherry pick in 2025? Upfront pricing hides the truth, right? Riders pay more, but the drivers often get less than half. Dead miles kill your profits, right? You go on a nature hike, long pickups and long trips, no return. You're a dead man walking, dead man driving, more like it. Surge is less predictable, and time is money. So we'll go to the next one. Smart drivers know the difference between working hard and working smart. So we'll go to the next one, and then we'll have you guys come on and talk about your own cherry picking or anting practices. The tools of the trade. So, one, a good phone mount and dual apps. You must do that because if there is no cherries on one, there may be cherries on the other app. You must,
Mhm.
must dual app, period. Tracking apps like GigU make it easier, or Maximo, right, on Android, help automate acceptance filters and things like that. This is what I did when I first started, Chris. A mental map. I actually went a step further. What I did is I took screenshots every half hour, morning rush hour, afternoon rush hour, weekends, and you just create this model in your head saying that for example, in Santa Monica between 7 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. is going to surge because surge is not a mythical creature. It comes, it goes, it comes, it goes. Patiently, you wait, and you will get your cherry. Know your city like a chessboard. Understand which neighborhoods have consistent demand where the money is and where not to get stranded. Suburbs, rural zones, airports with limited return trips. Next one. Um, God, that's small. How cherry pick? Like, okay. So these are some of my guidelines, but again, depending on your city, it'll be different. Set your minimum thresholds. Number two, watch for red flags. What are some red flags? There are some offers you should avoid on site. Trips under 3 or 5. I get a lot of these $3 trips. The reason you don't accept this is not because 3 to 5 may not be a good trip. It may be just half a mile pickup, half a mile drop off for $3. But you're going to spend 10 minutes doing that. The point is you're missing an opportunity. You're missing the opportunity cost is very high on doing a $3 trip. That's not going to get you anywhere. Okay. Long trips out of town with no return demand. Sketchy areas, we know about that. Riders with 4.6 rating or lower, and shared pool rides. It may be worth it once in a long moon. Number three, use trip radar strategically. Not every trip, as much as I say, where trips go to die. Not every trip, because I have a lot of stuff now is on trip radar, especially with the standard and advantage. Right? If you're standard, you're going to get nothing but trip radar, and you may have a worthy trip there to do. but only accept trip radar if you're quick enough with the whack-a-mole, to get matched, and chase short trips in high surge zones. I hope you guys are doing that. And so why cherry pick? You make more per hour, you stay close to the action, you avoid long deadhead returns, especially profitable during morning rush, evening commute, weekend nightlife. Next one is okay. Now step 5: skip the airport queue. Now we did an article with New York Times how people go wait 4 hours at the airport queue and then potentially get knocked to the back of the grid. And I'm like, don't do that. Don't go wait there 4 hours. Airport rides seem glamorous, but there is strong bonus attached, or you're going to get a trip, and you at least accept an airport ride to go to a trip, so you can get a rematch and come out of it with an airport trip, as opposed to just go to the queue and wait. And is cherry picking bad for your AR? Absolutely, yes. But acceptance rates doesn't matter anymore in most cities anyway. I mean, like 25% threshold. That's not a high bar to jump over. Uber and Lyft cannot deactivate you for low acceptance rate in 2025. And so stop worrying about missing out. Stop worrying about FOMO. There is no FOMO in driving, just like stock trading, or pleasing the algorithm. If the ride doesn't make sense, skip it.
One thing I always say is work smarter, not harder. If you aren't using the Solo app, then you may be working harder. So let's change that. Download the app, link your accounts where you can manage your income, track your expenses, and project your taxes. Not only that, but you can plan by optimizing your time, make more, and even guarantee your daily pay with guaranteed earnings. Download Solo and begin to work smarter, not harder today. Link is in the description. All right, let's get back to it.
And next one. Okay, what about temporarily shadow banned? We know Uber declines it. Uber says they don't do it. They don't throttle you. They do. If you decline a few, that's why you multi-app. You get off Uber for 10, 15 minutes, let the algo reset. In fact, do a force close on your app, and then go clean your cache, by the way. So it forgets about it that you did all these bad things by declining 30 trips in a row. And so that's what you do. So bonus tip. My bonus tip is going to be, a lot of drivers, Chris, use the destination filter to go home at the end of the day, right? They have 2 on one app and 2 on the other app. So you have 4 DFs. What are the odds of you hitting a bullseye? And most of the time, by the way, drivers put a DF right at their house address. For 10 years, I have never put my address as the DF target or as the ending point. I've always put 5 miles ahead or past my house, because then you're giving the algorithm more space to just kind of wiggle itself if it's going to give you chips. But you definitely don't put the bullseye as your house, number one, when you're going home. But more importantly, use the DF if you're in a surge zone, if you're working late at night, if it's buzzing and if there's a lot of demand. Use your DF in a 3 mile, 4 mile, 5 mile length, pick up and drop off areas, right? And then have the DF keep you there. Forget about it. Just dead mile home at the end of the day. But the amount of money you're going to make in that hot zone, and DF, basically, you're forcing the algorithm to feed you short trips that are beneficial to you. Burn all your DFs. Don't go home with all 4 DFs, or don't go just set the DF and say, okay, I want to go home now, take me home. And then I get an email complaining, oh, I set it to home, but it sent me the opposite direction. Because most people don't even know how to use the DF. There's 2, 3 different kinds of DF on the apps. And here it is, last but not least, the mindset of a cherry picker. Cherry picking isn't just a strategy, it's a mindset. You got to have that mindset. And one of the best cherry pickers in Boston is here. And Matt is here. And he cherry picks the F out of it. Okay. So it means acting like a business owner, not a robot on demand. And final word, final sentence of my take is: so drive smart, stay sharp, and never forget you work with the apps, not for them. So articles like this with brilliant freaking tips are in our newsletter now. They have always been, but now I'm writing more and more. So go subscribe to the free newsletter.
Subscribe. Yeah, link for that is in the description, so you can check that out. Definitely good stuff there, Sergio.
Thank you, man.
But biggest thing, the biggest takeaway out of all of that, even if you're going to be an ant or, accept everything. You need to know your costs associated with driving. If you don't know your costs, you have no idea what you're doing when it comes down to it. So you need to figure out your costs. You need to understand them and know what it is every time your wheels are moving, how much that's costing you.
Yeah, and we have something coming from Gig U that you free that you guys are gonna love. Actually, I worked on it with them last week. Hopefully, we'll have it on launch by next week. Chris, you're gonna love this shit. It's gonna be awesome.
Nice.
So this gentleman says, "I never saw this." What do you mean? What are you talking about? It's in your app, bro. On the
Yep.
Lyft app, it's on the lower right-hand corner, the two lines on the side, and on the Uber app, it's on the upper right-hand corner with the hourglass-looking thing. You got to click on that. Of course, you have two on each app. And if you're Diamond or whatever, you get one more, I think, on Uber and Lyft. So anyway.
All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you get notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.